Your age.
32.
And what do you do for work?
I'm a divorce lawyer.
As a divorce lawyer, would you say that divorces are initiated most by men or by women?
Women, 90% of the time.
Why is that the case?
I think that they yap with their friends, and I think they get real frustrated where guys are like, I'll get to it tomorrow. And I think the women just get in their heads and they're like, all right, I'm done.
So it's the women who are sabotaging their own relationships?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it is that they're getting with their girlfriends, they're angry, they just get frustrated, and they have a lot of people in their ears. And I think they just want to, when they're done, they're done.
But surely, as a woman, you shouldn't tolerate any and everything in a relationship.
Definitely not at all, but I feel like things build up really easily with people, and they're talking about it more, where you're like pissed off and you get kind of over it quickly.
But how long have you been a divorce attorney?
Probably like since 2016 I've been practicing, and then 2017 officially barred.
So being that you've been in the field for 8+ years, do you think that marriage is outdated now?
Outdated, but it's a more acceptable to get divorced, right? Because like we're seeing it a lot more. It's not taboo, so it's changed.
Do you think that sexless marriages can work?
No, and 100% every single time. I mostly work for men, so every single time they're in a consult with me, I'm always hearing, I haven't had sex in 10 years, I haven't had sex in 5 years, I haven't had sex in 15 years, and I'm like, here we go again. The sex talk every single time. So it's like you need to make sure you're doing it like 3 to 4. I would say like 3, 2. Sometimes you want to go like 2 times, 2 to 3. But
Okay. Let me say this, guys. Right? Women, when they choose a husband, it's different when they choose a guy that they really like. Right? When they choose a husband, they're looking for a provider, a great father, a great husband, protector, all these qualities, right? That's what they look for when they choose a husband. It's not because they desire this person, but they know this person, they're looking for security, can give them the security that they want, right? And they get into the marriage, and then after maybe 10 years, they start showing that man their true colors, because now they can't pretend anymore that, they don't really like you like that. Because just because you're a good father, you're a good husband, you are a great protector, and you're a good provider, it doesn't mean that, you can bring the best out of a woman. When we talk about sex, dog, you have to bring sex out of a woman. You understand? Women are not like men. They're not like men where they just want to have sex, right? You have to know how to arouse them. Somebody has to arouse them. And most of the time they get aroused by players, bad boys, the F-boys, those guys, those guys who sleep with everybody. Women are aroused by those people. That's why if you look at a woman's past, there's always a guy who could bring the best out of her when it comes to sex. There was always a guy who can make her scream, who can make her nasty, who can make her be wild and all that stuff, right? But now when it comes to their husbands, they don't do those things. They don't give them the best of them. They don't give their husbands the best of them. They don't give them the best sex. They don't ride them like they used to ride that bad boy. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Marriage, it's more like a scam. It's more like a scam, because it's not like you're going to benefit anything. I'm telling you right now, even a relationship, guys, when you date a girl, it doesn't mean that you're going to have unlimited access to her body. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're different from the guy who can, who's desirable. You understand what I'm saying? Unfortunately, women don't date guys who are desirable. They only have kids with them and have sex with them. They don't really date them, right? Because these are the guys who are players, who are sleeping with everybody, who women desire those type of guys. And I know a lot of women will say, but not me, but not me. Never listen to a woman, bro. Listen to me, right? Let's keep it pushing, though. This is why marriages don't work. That's why men in marriages don't have sex, because women, when they choose husbands, they choose the guy who's good on paper, who they don't desire, who they don't want to eat, who doesn't bring the best out of them, who never see the best of them in the bedroom. Let's keep it pushing.
it really should be like 4 2 to 4 times is ideal.
So a lack of sex in these marriages is the most common theme that you're seeing when they end.
Yeah, because it's connected to more of that. It's not just physical. It's like, all right, well, if you're not
Exactly.
into someone and you're disgusted by them and you're pissed off at them, you're not going to be having sex with them, right? Because you're going to be unattracted to them, you're going to be irritated, and you're not going to be into them. So you're not going to be banging them.
So why do you think people stay in these relationships for so long?
I think they stay in it just because it's comfortable and it's easy and it's really hard. This is a marriage is a breakup on steroids. Like if you're gonna get a divorce, it's not just like I'm moving my shit out, bye-bye. It's like if there's kids involved, forget about it. It's like your whole life is upended. It's a major decision. Your family's affected, your life is affected. Half your crap is gone. So it's a little bit tougher than with just a simple breakup.
When a couple goes through a divorce, what's the process typically entail?
Someone has to file, first and foremost, someone's got to file. So you got to fill out the paperwork, file it with the court, and then you've got to serve someone, or they have to sign something saying they've gotten it.
Assalamu alaikum. The people of Yemen need your help right now. More than 24.
So either you have a random stranger who's hired by a service, or you have someone that you know, go and hand them the paperwork, which is always awkward. Or you can tell them, hey, I'm going to divorce you, and you're going to sign this document saying you've received this, which is always awkward.
So wait, they don't send a sheriff out to serve them, or?
You can't, like some people will do that where you can get a constable, but it's not a sheriff. If there's a restraining order, you get a sheriff to do it.
Okay,
Whole nother.
so they sign that, then what happens?
Then they have in California, they've got 30 days to file a response. In Massachusetts, where I'm also barred, like they can just respond. So someone has to respond to it and say, all right, yeah, I want a divorce too, and this is what I want to do. And it's a simple paperwork.
So party A agrees for the divorce, and so does party B. Does that mean that they're officially divorced and that's fun, or?
No, I wish. It'd make things a lot easier, but no, you've got to go through this whole rigmarole. All right, well, what do you have? Show me your paperwork for the past. Show me your bank accounts. Show me your credit card statements. Show me everything. I want to see what your financial assets are. So you got to break it down each person, which causes problems, right? Because someone's on OnlyFans, you're seeing it in their bank account. Because unlike, Ashley Madison, they used to hide it as American Bank. OnlyFans just says straight up OnlyFans. They have no shame with their billing. So you start seeing these kind of charges and you go, all right, well, we need to do more. I got to look into this. What else have you done? Have you gone to hotels? I want to see more bank statements. Take me back 5 years.
And so this can expose more
Yeah.
infidelity in a relationship.
Yeah, and problems. So it's like, all right, now you're doing a deep dive and now you're starting to snoop through stuff and you've got some problems.
Okay. But after that process is done with the financial assets and looking at that, is it just the man had... So after that part's done, is it the man has made 100K and the girl makes 50K, so the girl gets 25 from the man, or what?
No, then you're going to be looking at a whole complicated state-by-state calculation of, all right, how long were you married? Who paid what? Who's doing what? Who can earn what? Like, so now you're looking at all the potential of that, and you're going to get a crazy calculation. And if you're married for a decent amount of time, you're going to get some spousal support. If you're, like, say the guy's paying all the bills, woman's at home, the guy's going to pay up. He's going to be paying a good amount, and it's going to be for, in California, if it's less than 10 years, he'll be paying half the length of the marriage. Massachusetts, you go, it goes to 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20. It doesn't go, it's more regulated, but just depends.
Being a divorce lawyer for 8 years, are you for prenups or are you against them?
Prenups are amazing. I'm a big fan of prenups. When some of my friends get married, instead of giving them a blender, I give them a prenup because it's a lot more useful, and I just do it for free and set it up, and I know the relationships, you know what to put in there, and it's great. So prenups, and you have a roadmap basically of what you're going to do. You can save like 50K on average if you have a prenup, like easily, because you already say you divide this, do that, and you can put future stuff in there. So vacation home, okay, I have no vacation home right now, but you put in the prenup and you can divide your vacation home, or say you have a business, divide your business a certain way, you do certain things.
But if prenups are so simple, why are so many women against it?
Because they want as much as they can get, obviously. I mean, you're not going to go to someone and say, hey, you want half my, can I give you half the amount you're supposed to get? Who would take that deal? Not many people. So it's not a very appealing thing. It's like going to someone who's ordering a sandwich and said, let me give you half the sandwich. Who's going to eat that sandwich? You want the full sandwich.
And what's the biggest?
Okay, so marriage is not about love, and it's not about building a family, and it's not about, bond and all the things that they talk about in Hollywood, right? They've been talking about in Hollywood for years, right? Marriage is business, guys, because she's saying it. She's a divorce lawyer, and this is the first divorce lawyer to be honest, bruh. She's honest. I've seen divorce lawyers online saying a lot of women are divorcing because they feel like they're single mothers and, they're doing everything by themselves. Why don't just become single mothers? And they divorce and become single mothers because it's useless to have a husband who doesn't help you to cook, to clean, to take care of the kids and whatever. The husband just goes to work and come back and expect a clean house and a cooked meal and everything, right? And women are divorcing husbands because of that most of the time, right? That's what a lot of divorce lawyers are saying, right? This one, she's honest, bruh. She's honest that women are in relationships because of businesses. That's why they don't like prenups. They want to leave with something when they're in a marriage, right? And in the beginning, let's rewind, guys. In the beginning, she says 90% of women initiate divorce. And the reason is their friends are in their ears, right? Like they have friends who are telling them to divorce their husbands. And not only that, right? It's true, but not only that. But in today's age, like as soon as a woman goes on social media and say, I want to divorce my husband because I'm tired of doing everything by myself, the mental load and all that nonsense, right? And the women in the comments will support her. I always say this, guys. They will support her. They will say, divorce your husband. Leave, girl. I was in a relationship too for 20 years. I was in a marriage for 20 years. Finally, I'm out. Like, why would you listen to someone in the comments? Why would you get influenced by someone in the comments? You understand? And then they turn around, they come on social media, they say, I've never been single and happy. And they know they're lying. They're not happy. Let's keep it pushing though. But marriage is a business, guys. It's a business for women. You understand? Marriage is not for men. You understand? It doesn't benefit men at all. You don't get the sex. You don't get the love. You don't get the respect. You don't get appreciated. You don't get supported. Like, that's not an ideal thing to do, right? Let's keep it pushing.
Misconception you noticed when it comes on to divorces?
I don't think they're as taboo as they need to be. Like everyone's like, oh, it's so bad and it's like ruins your whole life. It doesn't. I think like there's a lot of times where people find their second loves, and that seems to be really amazing, and they seem so much more happier and balanced. So it shouldn't be as taboo, and that's a misconception.
Have you ever had to represent a client over multiple marriages?
Yeah, and every single time I'm like, don't do it, man, don't do it. Can you get a prenup? Can you do something? And I have like multiple clients that are like, all right, here we go again. I just tell them don't do it, and they just do it. And I'm like, all right, see you soon.
Are you single?
No, I'm married.
How long have you been married?
About 5 years.
So how does your job make you view your relationship with him?
Just like more, you're looking out a little bit more. You're like, all right, I need to maybe work on things a little bit more. You see stuff that's alarming. And when you're dating as a divorce lawyer, it gets a little crazy, right? Because you're like, all right, let me see how he is angry. Let me see how he is when he's sad. Let me make sure I go through a major event before I commit. Let me see how it is living with this person. So you have to be more aware.
So would you say that mentally it still puts a strain on your relationship, or it's just as easy as like working at a 9 to 5?
I wouldn't say it puts a strain. I think it makes it stronger because you know what not to do. Basically, you're like, all right, if I do this might be a problem, because you see so many guys complain about like, my wife didn't do this, my wife didn't do that, and that bothered me. So I make sure not to do those things.
All right, guys, that's it for today. My name is RJ Godfella, man. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, You know, thanks for the subscribers that you guys gave me. I really appreciate it. And guys, I'm not getting married. And I'm not saying people shouldn't get married. No, you should get married if you find somebody who respects you, who loves you, who wants to start a family with you, get married, right? But I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Peace. I'm out.